Good evening and welcome back to the world of Drakkenheim. My name is Monty Martin, running our campaign as Dungeon Master as we dive into the Dungeon Dudes weekly D&D 5e livestream campaign.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Wilhelm von Kessel, the human swashbuckler rogue, and we're joined today by our good friends.
Jill Denitis playing Rudy Whitaker, the Shifter Eldritch Knight.
And Joe O'Gorman playing Wrath, the Aasimar Warlock.
As always, welcome. We are the Dungeon Dudes, and Kelly and I also post new videos every Tuesday and Thursday on our YouTube channel where we cover everything D&D, including advice for players and guides for GMs, so you can check that out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
You can also join us on Tuesday evenings when we broadcast the campaign on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch the video episodes of the show on YouTube or check us out as an audio-only podcast as well.
And with that, let us return to the world of Drakkenheim.
Drakkenheim is no more. The devastation which fell upon that accursed place left a kingdom in ruin. Now, horrors lurking in the haze grow ever more great and terrible, while simmering tensions between rival factions boil over into outright war. The power of monarchs, mages, and priests hangs in the balance. 6 unlikely heroes join forces to confront the coming chaos. They shall decide, once and for all, the fate of Drakkenheim.
When last we left our heroes, Rudy, Wilhelm, and Wrath had ventured into the frozen north towards the quarry at Quolf, there to pursue the strange uncoverings that Sophia von Schneestrom has requisitioned from a group of ironhound dwarves. Arriving at the quarry in the midst of a snowstorm, however, all is not well here, for something strange, a bizarre thing has certainly happened here, and the dwarves are not certain who to trust. As Wilhelm walks towards the camp to treat with the 4 dwarves who survive before the burning pyre of their dead compatriots, for the dwarves have unearthed something terrible, something which has been infecting, destroying, and driving them to madness. Unable to trust one another, they now threaten Wilhelm with the news that he had run into one of their compatriots who had fled earlier. As the red-bearded dwarf adjusts his coat and brandishes his mining pick at you, Wilhelm, as he continues to speak. We've been out here long enough. You're already an outsider. Tell us what happened truly, and then we'll decide if we can trust you or to throw you into the fire.
Very well. Honesty for me is always the right course of action, so I will bear nothing but honesty to you. I came today. I have traveling companions nearby.
There's more.
There are 2 others.
Bring them out.
I will have to call for them.
Do it.
In common, I now say, my friends, the situation is evolving.
It's evolving.
Come into the camp.
You didn't say that.
We're not going to attack anybody. We're going to talk. Do you speak common? I say in Dwarven to the dwarf.
Aye.
If you come forward, we'll continue the conversation in common.
I'm going to reach out and see if Rudy's there. And then I'm going to, walk forward and reveal myself.
The two of you step into the quarry. You see the as you come up to the top of the hill where the dwarves have excavated the arch ruins, you can see the various elements of their camp. Okay, so as I said, there's two main areas where the dwarves have set up their camp. There is their actual kind of lodgings where they built a small cabin and have several sturdy tents and the bonfire that is now being used as the pyre of their companions, with all sorts of supplies arranged. Opposite, on the other side, is where you can see the great delirium drill that they've been using to excavate the strange metal that encompasses this site. Over there as well is the dwarves have built a forge, and it appears like what they have done. Just looking at the pick, you realize that they've turned this metal into mining picks, as well. So they've had this forge here to build more equipment to facilitate their continued operation. What they have unearthed appears to be some sort of statuary garden surrounded by stone arches. They've dug away the vast majority of the strange metal, and most of it now has been piled and carted off to the side of the hill. But they have unearthed these strange arches that surround a large central fountain in the middle. And what is notable that you see is, as you get closer, is that many of the carvings and etchings depict cats.
My friends and I were traveling through these mountains on our way to Helig. We had a bit of
You're lost, eh?
we had a bit of a mishap with a transportation spell that went awry, and we ended up in the mountains instead. Now, we found some giants that we had to fell. They were twisted, their forms, not like normal giants. After that, we encountered a dwarf and a horse. Both seemed crazed. We feared that they were similar to the giants. Me and my friends, afraid for our lives, defended ourselves. They never got near us or touched us. We intended to question them. But it seems now that perhaps we did the right thing, although we were not informed to burn the bodies, and that is of concern to us now. None of my friends here were injured, bitten, or touched by any of these creatures. And that is the truth.
One of the other dwarves speaks out. See, it's already too late. We already allowed too many to leave. The attack from the giants was when we should have given up on all this. It's just getting worse and worse from here.
And you need to tell us what's going on, because the snowstorm out there means that me and my two comrades are trapped here with you. You don't seem to trust each other. You're telling me that there's an infection coming through. For all we know, any of you could be infected. And for all you know, any of us could be. You have my word that we're not, and all that we have is your word.
One of the dwarf women, she is mostly clean shaven aside from a mohawk of her own, with a dark complexion and dark eyes. And she crosses her arms and she says, "My name's Null. This one here is Urt," pointing to the red-bearded dwarf with the puffy coat who's been brandishing his pick at you. "And this is Brimley and Mosser. We've also got Dr. Catton locked in the cabin there." About 24 of us set out from the Iron Helms at the behest of the Duchess of Helig to excavate this site. We brought our specialized equipment because she'd heard that we had the way to drill through anything. And it worked. We were looking for an opportunity to try it out. We came here and we started to excavate the ruin, and that was when we found, well, it was more like a corpse or a fleshy mass buried in a block of ice underneath the stone. We brought it up and the doctor started looking through it, And that was when things started to go wrong. The horses got upset. The dogs went mad. And then things and people started changing. That was after we'd already fought off one attack from the giants. We'd already lost half our number by then.
Sorry, that was after the giants?
Shortly after we unearthed the beast from that block of ice, that was when we were attacked by the giants.
Were
We
these
managed to fight them off.
That lines up with what we encountered.
were these giants that you encountered though? Were they warped or changed, or was it the beast that changed?
No,
them?
they seem normal. She gestures to the broken cannons and the other weaponry that they have. Fortunately, that managed to even the odds a little bit, but we still lost over half of our number.
The giants that we found were carrying remains of dwarves with them.
Yeah.
It is what led us here. We came to investigate. We didn't expect to find anybody alive. You'll have to pardon my initial approach. I was as wary as you were. I needed to make sure it was safe before me and my comrades decided that this was a place for us to camp for the evening.
We haven't had enough to make it back to Helig. And once we started noticing that this was happening, we felt that it was a bad idea for us to go back. That we would bring something with us that was not going to be okay.
And I guess you had no way of sending word about what was going on.
Not after the giants attacked.
Of course.
So, there are 7 of us. There's a snowstorm. We're here for the evening, it looks like. You said that you had some sort of test. You were yelling it to me right before I revealed the truth of my comrades here. Do you have a way to prove that people are not infected?
The dwarves look at one another and they say, and one of the other dwarfs, she pipes in. She says, "It's not a way that's actually going to work reliably. At least not that I think so. The thing's been too smart for it's been too smart for that. This creature. It knows if it's infected any one of us, it knows better than to let itself be revealed so simply."
So it's a, although you dug it up, is it now a living creature that's been infecting you?
One of the other dwarves replies. He gestures to another pyre that is just out in the snow. "That's all that remains of the thing that we actually dug up. We burnt it and thought that was going to be the end of it. But after we burnt it, our wounded turned. They went mad, sprouted all kinds of, attacked the others. They've been picking us off one by one. Whatever it is, it moves. Don't know where, and that's why we don't know. It could be any one of us wearing our skin."
This infection, did you happen to uncover... I noticed your drill, made out of a strange rock.
Aye, delirium.
We've encountered this rock before, this delirium, and everywhere that we've encountered it, it has changed people, had them grow extra limbs or transform into horrible monstrosities. We've had to down and fell friends, allies, enemies, and all sorts of creatures twisted by this rock. Now you brought a drill made out of this here, but the creature you dug up is older than that. Did you find any delirium in your excavation?
Not a lick.
Well, that's concerning. Wrath, my comrade here is a wizard of the Amethyst Academy. A mage of the Amethyst Academy. Wrath, is there anything...
Perhaps you can make heads or tails over all the other things that we found here. We haven't been able to even take the time to check things out in the midst of all the problems we've run into. We haven't found anything for Sophia yet.
Like, it's still a snowstorm, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I wanted to just go and check out these ruins, even with the help of something like, casting like the light cantrip, or would that aid, or is it enough to sort of get a sense of these things and start to...
With the way the quarry is positioned and the way that they've covered it, like, because of its position as like a bowl on a hill, like the inside of the quarry is actually kind of sheltered in a certain way from the elements. It's still obviously snowing, but it's more like as soon as you get back out there, that's where like the wind and everything really makes the blizzard inhospitable. The dwarves have set up enough torches and enough of a perimeter around here that you can navigate this site just fine. It's leaving where it's going to be scary, right?
So, yeah, then I want to just kind of take a walk through the ruins, and I want to show Bruce, because I think the pictures of the cats are what intrigue me the most. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna I just wander off.
Wrath here might be able to surmise, and then you're just like walking away, and I'm like, he's going to investigate the ruins now.
And I want to begin by, I guess starting with like the first thing I come across, like the first piece of the ruins that I walk up to. I want to begin to check it out. Well,
that would be the fountain. It is a great pool, almost 20 feet in diameter, that is made of this unnatural stone. It is surrounded by woven etchings and murals that depict various dancing cats. And there are 4 statues of winged cats, each with a small bowl at their feet. So they're sitting cats in like the sitting cat stance, with their wings flared upwards, and each of them has a small bowl in front of them. And you see, as you go in and around, you can see that there are traces of what looks like perhaps gold plating and obsidian that are mixed in with the rest of the stone to decorate the details. And you can see, scanning around the central fountain, there are murals that show cats sitting under a chair during a buffet, eating meat or fish. Some show the cats in the company of various geese or fowl or monkeys. There are cats in hunting scenes, and where they are hunting various creatures. And there's another, like, ones where they're going after birds, and there's several where they're going after rats as well. There's one where it appears the cat is playing with some string, or chasing light. Cats that are and a recurring motif, of course, is that you notice. Give me an investigation check.
16.
You notice that almost all the cats' tails are shaped like question marks.
Interesting.
Like they're all kind of in that sort of hooked shape, right? Yeah.
So this middle fountain. Mm-hmm. Now, do these cats? Do they have? I always think that Bruce is a very unique specimen. Are there any resemblances? Like, am I seeing...
All of the cats that are depicted here are different in appearance. Although there is a recurrent motif again, of the question mark shaped tail. And you do see several cats that are gray or black in their fur, but they often have a prominent diamond shape on their chest, especially the dancing cats.
I was just going to say, cats with wings seems like... your cat can grow wings, right?
It flies.
I mean, Wilhelm's not saying this. I'm just pointing this out.
Interesting. Very interesting. Continuing to walk through the ruins, I want to investigate some of the doorways or pillars. What do they seem more like? I mean, I'm going by visuals, but like, does it seem more like a like ornamental, or are they actually like, or is it more like a carved space, like a doorway, like something that would separate two different spaces, or is it just more of like a garden?
Give me an Arcana check.
Arcana. Oh no, sorry, just 22.
There is a power here. For these are not unlike the arches of the city of Uthar, where no man may kill a cat. That fabled place that lies in the shadow of Mount Hathig Kla, beyond the river Ska.
Interesting. No man may ever kill a cat, but especially there. Especially. I want to try something.
What's funny is you don't know how you know that. But it came to you. As if a familiar bit of knowledge.
Familiar.
Don't read into it. Sometimes I just know things. Maybe I just have a bad memory. It just comes back sometimes. Interesting.
As you survey the ruins, you notice that Bruce has taken a perch up on the archway and is simply taking his perch and lounging a languid paw. And as you watch, you can see that none of the snowflakes fall upon Bruce. They simply fall through him. As if he is existing in a version of this reality where the snow is not.
I'm going to approach that doorway. I shouldn't say doorway, that archway.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to, I don't know if this, the key that formed when I closed the door beneath the castle, I want to pull out that key.
Okay.
Do we know about this key?
And sort of hold it. And as I approach this this archway.
You feel a resonance in the key. As if you could open a door which steals off to those cryptical realms which are known only to cats, which may lie on the dark side of the moon. But sometimes when a door is barred, the key will not open it. Something holds this doorway shut.
I'm gonna put away the key again, and I want to do sort of a circle of the fountain, and I want to take another look at the statues of the winged cats. But you said that they have little dishes built.
Yes, they each have a dish in front of them.
Is there anything unique about each cat, or are they the same picturesque?
The cats are different in their shape and facial structure. perhaps being different types of cats, all with slightly alien features to them, most notably the wings, but also sometimes in their ears or eyebrows or whiskers. And the artwork around them depicts various cats being, again, as I said, the cats in the murals are often hunting, mousing. They are being given food, yarn, bits of bird or bone, rats. One cat has a saucer filled with milk being offered to it. So things that are enjoyed by cats are being given to them here.
I begin to empty my holdings into these offering. These I'm gonna call them these offering bowls.
What do you have?
I offer them bits of fish people.
Do you have such things?
I have some bits of any treats that.
I know for a fact that you've been collecting. Every time we kill things, you say, "I collect the bits for Bruce." So you've collected.
I begin
brain
giving
matter,
away
you've
most of the treats that I've collected for Bruce. I begin to sparse out amongst.
I would
these.
like to know specifically what you have in your possession, and
Okay.
I would like to know specifically what you are placing in each bowl.
Okay, I need a
Because
moment.
yes, the specifics matter in this.
When you
case.
say that you're collecting bits from things we killed, do you write that in your inventory?
I don't explicitly write it now. So,
Well, that's unfortunate for you. I guess you should have been keeping better track of your inventory.
I have some notes.
For sure, there were fish people.
I need just a moment.
There were fish people, there were ratlings. I think there were some exploded birds in your father's workshop that you
Wait.
took parts of.
Those were not mechanical birds, though, right?
Were they
No.
mechanical?
No, because you blew them up and took parts of them.
Oh yeah.
And you fed them to Bruce. I
I do
remember
remember
that.
that. Yeah.
I did do that.
Rudy, what are you doing?
Yeah, I just need a moment.
I'm kind of surveying the area, and so this was under, from what I remember was said, it was under ice, correct?
Yes, not only was it under ice, it was under rock and basically metal ore
Okay.
that require the dwarves specific skills to dig up, right? And like there is a lot of equipment that is here. Like they have mining picks and certainly like this project, Rudy, what you can already tell, these 4 dwarves are not going to be able to continue this project. What they have done so far would have taken a team of people to accomplish, and now with their numbers dwindled to this extent, this operation won't be able to continue, right? But because they were probably working for weeks to dig up this much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I turn to the dwarves and I look at them and I say, dwarves, you are master craftsmen and women, and I have a question for you. When you've been digging up this ruin right here, did it look like it was naturally formed that way in terms of what was covering it, or was it buried?
One of the dwarves cynically responds, "You must understand that dwarven people have a rich tradition of digging too deep and digging things that seem strange. So for
Of course, and I hope you would know that by the nature of what you're digging through. Was it there over time, or was it done at one point?
Our chief digger's dead. So they were the expert geologist that would have known. But Null continues. But they knew that the stone here is natural, pointing to like most of the rock that's around them. A lot of it would have been formed underneath glaciers that were here long ago, crushed underneath the layers of ice. But what was on top of this and what we had to dig out around was thick with a heavy metallic ore. It's raw adamantium.
Can I ask a question, dwarves, as expert miners? What how old would those ruins down there have to be buried under adamantium that you say is naturally forming? How...
No. It's raw adamantium, not natural adamantium. The natural adamantium, you'll only find it near the heart of the earth itself.
So perhaps somebody poured adamantium here to bury this place.
What it's like it was intentionally buried under adamantium.
Something sealed this place under metal
And then,
rock and ice.
and then you've gone and unburied it. Somebody went through... Adamantium is no mere metal.
Why do you think we came for it? When we heard the description of it, we knew why we were here.
It's also worth a lot, which means somebody who would pour that much adamantium into this place not only wanted this place to remain unfound, but went through great lengths to make it extremely difficult.
The amount of adamantium here could buy the city of Lumen.
Yes. Which means it was probably very important to the person who buried it that this place remained buried.
Yeah. I think, why didn't your chief look at that before digging through it and think that that might not be a good idea to dig through, or that it might have been there on purpose? Did none of that occur to y'all?
I mean, hindsight's 2020.
Love the greed, though.
We saw.
I get it.
Perfectly honest, we were looking at the find of a lifetime. This much adamantium, this close to the surface. You know, we figured if we cleared away. Fine.
So,
dwarves have dealt with all manner of beasties, and we figured we were going to be sticking close to the surface. Couldn't be anything worse than what we've seen in the depths of the earth.
so here we have a quarry of adamantium that was poured here to bury these ruins. We have no sign of delirium. We have a cat sanctuary, it seems, and a creature buried in the ice that affects people the same way delirium seems to, but without delirium. All of this is incredibly concerning and raises more questions than answers.
Well, you're not going to get much of an answer to those questions, says Ert, because we're all doomed. If Brimley or Masson, if either of them are possessed by this thing, they're just waiting for us to go to sleep so they can kill us.
Wilhelm, what do you think your cousin is looking for here? How would they even know?
Again, family heirlooms, but...
What family heirlooms are being sealed that they wouldn't know about being sealed here?
And also, how old are these ruins? The dwarves, do you recognize this work? Is it elven? Is it dwarven? Is it human? Halfling?
Any one of us that could have told you any of those questions is burning on that pyre right now.
It doesn't... Listen, my father had dealings with elves and dwarves.
Well, you know elven. I mean, we've been to enough ruins that we can... Is this elven?
I mean, I've read multiple history books. I try to read as much as I can, and I don't do I recognize these ruins?
Tell you, no. These are even unlike the elven ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ert says, yeah, I couldn't tell you the first thing about it. I'm just the gyro pilot, and that thing went up in smoke already. We had one of us that turned that took out my chopper, and Masson, Brimley, they're great miners, but they're not going to tell you anything. I mean, there's just Dr. Catton, and well, she's stark raving mad. We've got her locked in the cabin.
Mad like the other dwarves happen, or
We're pretty sure she's infected. Yeah,
Right. Then why aren't you burning down the house she's in?
because we're not sure for sure.
These are their friends, Rudy. They work together.
They also had no problem with throwing their other ones in the fire.
That's
They were
not
dead
true.
already.
They were dead?
Yeah.
They changed their form. If this doctor hasn't changed their form yet, setting your friends on fire is no easy task, Rudy.
I mean, I chop my own friends' heads off when they're infected with things, so I can't quite relate.
Not all of us.
What have I said before about this? You put them out of their misery. If they're got no way of coming back from it, you do what needs to be done.
They said they're not sure. I won't go killing their friends unless we're certain.
I mean, you know my stance on this, but I will leave it to you. I just know that if that doctor is infected and they get out of there, they somehow get some strength, that's not airtight. They are putting all of us at risk.
That's true.
You know.
But we can't, I mean, Rudy, by that logic, I'm saying this quietly, Rudy, by that logic, we don't know any of them could be infected.
Well, if none of them are showing signs, then that's different. If they show signs, this one, I point to the building, clearly they say he's showing signs.
What signs is the doctor showing?
The doctor was the one that tried to study it. Tried to figure out what was going on, wanted to know the more about whatever it is. Started rambling on, getting mad. And so we locked her up.
No mutations, Rudy.
She was playing around with the corpse of the thing.
That doesn't mean that she's infected. Perhaps we should go talk to her. She's locked in the cabin.
Yeah.
We can talk to her through the door. We don't have to open the door.
All right. We can talk to her through the door. But I'm telling you, all signs point to she's gone over the edge.
Unless she attacks us or shows physical signs of changing. I don't want to go... I want to try to save the rest of these dwarves who's left here. They've lost enough.
Wrath, what are you doing?
I'm gonna join my comrades. I just sort of silently walk up to the fire during your conversation and sort of listen in. I found so much stuff that I have.
Did you write it down?
There's like so many episodes of stuff. I have like wands and scrolls and stuff that are just I just never. So Wrath finally goes into his bag of holding. He's like, holy, look at all this cool stuff. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I am composed. Yeah, like planar binding and magic circle, and like I have a wand of cure wounds. What? I'm gonna use that at one point. Transmute rock, that might come in handy.
We're in rock.
We're in rock. When in rock. I am going to meet up for the interrogation.
What did you find, Wrath? Any clues? Anything about these ruins that could help us?
I don't know if you noticed, but there is many depictions of cats.
I saw some weird statues, yeah.
They are not weird. They are cats.
I saw some statues of winged cats that are completely normal.
Yes. And something has drawn me here.
Is it your cat?
Yes. Bruce senses something. I do not know if this creature is something that he is aware of. I may spend some time speaking with him later. But for now, I understand that you are looking to interrogate this doctor.
I'll ask a few questions to the doctor, see what she knows.
There's something about this place. They may have uncovered something. I do not know what it is. But what I seek is not found yet.
Well, I think if we're gonna talk to this doctor. Either we need to do it through the door if we're able, or if not, maybe Wrath, if you have a way of magically binding them so they don't come at us. Maybe that's where we can start. Do you have to see someone to like telepathically talk to them?
Yes. But there's windows, right? There's windows.
No, there's no windows because insulation.
I just don't want to put us in any risk if we're going to do this. I get it. We want to save these dwarves, but...
Rudy, I also, with this infection, can we trust to leave these dwarves alone?
Probably not.
I should also note that I pet the horse. Like, I touched it a lot.
You touched the horse?
Yes, I comforted it in its dying breath. Also, he totally took off that dwarf's shirt.
I was investigating the body to see if it was infected with delirium.
Wasn't sure if
Poor
this is
Dumat.
relevant.
I mean, he was wearing gloves. Does that make a difference?
Your
Yeah.
friend touched it?
I
Your
had-
friend's definitely infected.
I had to wear gloves because some of my fingers are gone.
They're not gone.
Some of your fingers are gone.
That
You
was
have open wounds?
No, they're just in another dimension.
I mean, they're here.
Well, yeah, oh, sorry, they went to another dimension, they came back, but now they have a mind of their
I
own.
did notice him poking around by the ruins. What were you doing over there?
I really like cats. And there are many cats on these ruins. This creature, was it cat-like?
You brought in a cat, didn't you? That's your cat, isn't it?
The cat has no ownership.
It's his cat.
I'll bet you his cat's infected. We should kill it. I'm sorry, but it's the only way to be sure.
I wouldn't. I like step between them. I'm like, you don't want to do that.
Trust me, you do not want that line of thinking because you're probably more infected, and I am willing to protect us over anything.
Listen, it's a very easy way to eliminate one potential thing. This creature went after our pets and animals first. And if you're bringing in a cat, it's going to go after it
This
first.
isn't an ordinary cat. This is a mage's familiar.
I'm sure it means a lot to your
You have to
mage
understand it
friend.
means more than a lot, and if you're threatening to kill it, you are putting yourself at danger right now because Wrath is more powerful than you and will do anything for that cat. If the cat shows signs of changing, we'll deal with it then.
You could not kill Bruce. I do not worry about this creature thinking he has any sort of power to shape the future of Bruce. Don't worry. You cannot hurt it. Just like you cannot change the weather. He will exist eons past our mortal demise. Also, he is not... Yeah, I don't think he's infected.
Yeah, also, he doesn't really die, exactly.
Yeah,
I've seen him get eaten by a monster in combat, and
he can also eat people.
These just sound like more lies, but fine. Talk to the doctor.
All right, so we talking through the door?
I think we talked through the door. Should one of us stay here with the dwarves to keep an eye on them?
I mean, we're right beside them.
We're keeping an eye on you.
Which cabin is the doctor in? Is it the close one or the...
Yeah,
okay,
the close
okay.
one.
Cool, then yeah, good. I thought it was maybe the far one, in which case. Okay.
I knock on the cabin door.
He's tied up. She's tied up in the cabin.
Oh.
Oh, like with the gag or something?
Not gagged, but we've got her tied up inside.
Oh,
Do we just go in?
we just go in.
Yeah,
don't
just-
get too close.
I will not.
Don't. Yeah. I still knock politely. Open the door.
Hello? Please? I'm not infected. Please, you can let me out. It'll be fine. We need to just understand it. This could spread. It could get much worse.
Hello, my name's Rudy Whitaker, and these are my
Humans.
colleagues.
Well,
Why would your friends think you're infected then and tie you
I'm
in
not
there?
infected. Please let me out. I can help us. I'm certain I can figure out a way to tell who is and who's not infected.
I feel like anyone who is infected would say that.
now you're starting to sound like the dwarves.
Sounds like you might be infected.
Whoa, calm down, Raph.
Sorry.
No, get away. You might be infected. You all might be
I'm
infected.
the only one that hasn't gotten near nothing that would make me infected. So why would they?
That's
think-
why you might be the most infected, because no one's seeing you be infected. You've got the best alibi. When was the last time anyone saw you alone?
I haven't been alone in years. I have 10 kids.
Also, I lived in her barn,
Your
and
story checks out.
I'm sorry, but you're never going to see your children again. This is going to be the end of you.
oh, you just said that you could help, and now you're saying we're all dead. So which is it?
I can give us the best chance. If you let me out, I can test us all. I can figure out a way. I think there's something in the blood.
Tell me about this test.
Well, I have a few chemicals here in my lab, and I think that I can cause a reaction, an organic reaction that will indicate whether or not someone is infected by the creature.
Why do the others think you're infected?
Because I've been studying it. I studied the blood of the infected. That's how I think I know.
And why would you touching the blood of this thing not make you infected? How long ago did you do this?
One of the other dwarves speaks up. We think that it's fluids. It's spreading itself from one to another. The blood, the fluid, just as good as anything else, isn't it?
So, Doctor, you've been, I guess, involving yourself with these fluids the most out of any of them.
I'm not infected. I know I'm not, but I'll test myself.
I have an idea. You have a method to test. Could you teach Wrath here? Wrath, do you know how to mix chemicals and I don't know, wizard stuff?
Are you proficient with alchemist supplies?
I'm not. Yes.
Wrath here, you will tell Wrath how to perform this test.
You need supplies that I have in here.
Perfect. We don't have to go anywhere.
We'll use the supplies, we'll put together your test, and we will test it on you. And then the rest of us.
I think that's all right.
All right, you can go in and get these supplies.
Can you give us a list of what you need?
I'll tell you what
Oh.
you need to get.
Is it this one?
Are you... I was under the impression that you were having this conversation through the door.
Oh, no, we opened the door.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
That
inside.
you've gone inside. All right. Inside, the bespectacled dwarf, she is tied to a chair. She is visibly older than the rest of the other dwarves, and has long wispy downs that are curling down the side of her hair and kind of frizzled hair otherwise. And she points. You can all roll me 86.
1.
5.
5.
Okay. As you reach for the first bottle, there is a screech from outside.
Run outside to check it out.
You run outside to see one of the two dwarves, Mosser, has taken one of the ladders up on top of the arches and is about to attack Bruce with a pick. And the noise was Bruce's meowing.
Oh!
Bruce's screeching.
Yeah, that's not a good idea, big guy. First, I'm going to use... I want to use my action to dismiss Bruce.
Okay. Bruce... Let's roll for initiative then.
Okay.
9 for Rudy.
25.
25 for Wilhelm.
12. Like, you've had double my initiative for most of this.
I do have advantage on initiative.
It helps.
You have the same that I do, I think. +2.
Yeah, I'm just,
I also, I have advantage and +8.
yeah,
So I
that,
mean,
that helps.
Okay, so as you exit the cabin, you see that Mossum is brandishing his pick and about to strike Bruce with it. Bruce, who is still languishing atop the archway, and just springs to his feet and arches his back and hisses and howls at the approaching dwarf. As you turning out and looking out the cabin door, Wilhelm, you are the first to act.
I pull out my crossbow, steady aim, and I yell, "Drop the pickaxe or I'll shoot you in the back of the head."
Are you readying an action to shoot then?
I will ready an action to shoot if he doesn't move.
Okay.
Can I steady? I can't steady aim a ready action. That doesn't work. So I won't have advantage on it. But yeah, I'll...
All right. Well, in this moment, the dwarf begins to. It's the dwarf's turn. It's Mossum's turn, and it swings the pick down towards Bruce, triggering your ready action.
Okay.
You're gonna shoot it?
Gonna
Shoot him!
I'm gonna shoot him.
Shoot him.
It's gonna be a 21
That's a hit.
for 6 damage.
Bruce is within 5 feet, so your sneak attack would apply
Are you gonna say?
if you want to.
You know what?
Bruce holds you in high fear.
You know what? I'm not gonna sneak attack him. I don't want to kill him. This is simply to show him that I'm serious.
To maim.
I shoot him and hits him in the shoulder. That's carrying the
Yeah.
weight of the pick to try to offset the swing.
The bolt strikes the dwarf in the shoulder, and a gout of blood erupts from the shot. The gout of blood forms into a tendril that wraps around the arrow, and more of these sinewy tendrils of blood begin emerging out of the wound as the dwarf begins to shake and shudder and convulse and collapse around the arrow bolt that is in his back. And as he begins transforming into something horrible indeed.
Oh, I should have shot to kill. I say, as I load another bolt.
Uh-oh.
Looks like something's happening.
Oh boy.
I am concerned.
Okay.
Are you okay? You seem unwell.
Wrath, it is your turn.
Concerned, but are you surprised?
So I
No.
see this thing, this dwarf go to attack Bruce. Mm-hmm. Wilhelm shoots him in the back shoulder, and then a tendril comes out of his blood
Yes.
and begins to wrap around the arrow.
Yes, and you see the dwarf's flesh slowly beginning to rip apart.
Can you pass me the range?
Yeah.
The range of a thinger?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try something. I'm going to I want to cast telekinesis on the dwarf.
Okay.
DC 20. Oh, make an ability check. Sorry.
With what ability?
Strength.
Okay.
Against my spell casting.
Against DC what? Oh, are we roll off?
You try to move a huge or smaller creature. Make an ability check with your spellcasting ability, contested by the creature's strength check.
Okay. I get a 10.
I got a 21.
Okay. So the telekinetic grip grabs the creature.
And I'm going to launch it 30 feet diagonally up towards us.
Okay.
And I want to bring it like closer to here.
Okay, as you telekinetically lift it up into the air, the dwarf convulses and shakes as you lift it into the air. Its rib cage bursts out from inside, sending splints of bone flying through the air, and its and the lower part of its body, as you lift it up, it just lets, like, its legs and pelvis just detach from the upper part of its body, leaving its legs on the ground as you lift the creature up forward, the two legs falling to the sides. As the core of as the torso of the dwarf shudders and shakes, the ribs open up and splay open into wings that are formed from the ribs, and the spine turns into this hideous tail as the entrails dripping out of the bottom of the dwarf form a series of tendrils and tentacles. And as the dwarf screams, his mouth opens up, and the top of his head opens and lurches backwards as his skull splits, and his brains form into about a dozen large stalks, each ending in bits of the dwarf's face.
I think he's sick.
Oh, gosh.
Kelly's having a good time.
Oh,
Wilhelm's
my
not.
God. And I say, you leave my cat alone!
Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
That is my action and my I guess from a telekinetic point of view, the creature is restrained.
Yep. All right, Rudy, it is your turn.
They say fire is supposed to burn it, right?
Fire burns.
And it's up how far in the air?
About 30 feet. Well, I moved it 30 feet towards us.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume it's about 20, 25 feet in the air and a little closer, but closer to us.
Okay, I'm gonna firebolt it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. 10.
That's a miss. You do have advantage, though, because it is restrained under the telekinesis.
12.
That's still a miss.
It was probably pretty shocking to see that dwarf transform. I don't
Just
think.
like, I haven't done this in a while. No.
Is that how you? Pew pew. Is that how you shoot your fireball?
Yeah.
Good. I mean, I guess Sebastian finger guns his firebolt, so like, who am I to? That's the official Drakkenheim firebolt, is the finger gun.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna use my war magic. When I use a action to cast a cantrip, I can make one weapon attack as a bonus. So I'm just gonna throw. Oh, I don't have any axes. Oh no.
Okay,
Nope,
well,
I'm not gonna throw anything.
in that case, wonderful turn. Very productive.
I tried.
Shoot it!
And then I'm
Throw
gonna
an axe
throw an
at
axe.
it.
Look. There are no more.
Oh, another action.
Okay.
You didn't pack weapons when we were going on this adventure.
I have one big axe. That's normally all I need.
Oh no.
The
Okay.
rest are in my bag somewhere. I don't have time to
Okay,
dig for them.
coming to the end of the round, as you lifted the dwarf up, you notice that its lower body separated from its upper body, and its two legs fell to the sides. And as they fall to the side, one of the legs, the thigh portion of the leg, the bone splits, and the leg opens up, forming its own sort of scorpion-like creature, and with the rest of the leg forming into the scorpion tail, where the toes break, crack, and elongate as the bone grows up, and it turns into like this scuttling leg scorpion. It turns into like scuttling leg scorpion.
Normal, totally normal.
Yeah.
I don't. Do you guys think he might be infected?
I have a feeling that it's still the doctor. I have a hunch. I have a hunch that it's still the doctor.
The rest of the dwarves are fine,
Yeah.
especially this guy. He's just having a bad like.
Maybe he had some bad fish. He had a reaction to
The other leg,
It's just
allergic.
allergies.
it sprouts all these weird smaller legs and kind of forms into a leg centipede sort of thing. So we'll use those to and put the legs down where they are.
Like, was it where it
Yeah, they fall to the ground.
They
Yeah,
fell on
somewhere
either
in the
side.
ground. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
yeah. But then they're going to rush forward. Who's closest to them?
We're kind of all up here.
Okay, well then they're gonna rush up to.
Can they make it all the way?
60 feet.
Yeah, they can. They're
All
fine.
right. So
For
that's gonna
reference,
be-
the 60 feet from me to Bruce, that was 60 feet. So if they
Yeah.
can dash 60 feet, they can make it up to us.
So that's going to be, Raph is protected because he's behind them, but it's going to be Wilhelm and Rudy are up against the legopedes.
Okay, well the legopedes are going to attack Wilhelm and Rudy each twice. The first legopede gets a 13 and a 24 to hit Wilhelm,
One of those hits.
and the second legopede gets a crit and a natural 1 against Rudy.
Yep.
So Wilhelm,
The temporary hit points, I guess, are away now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So Rudy, Wilhelm, the regular hit's going to be 21 bludgeoning damage, and Rudy, you're going to take 40 bludgeoning damage, and as basically the legopede kicks you in the skull.
Arr! My nose is bleeding.
Okay. With that, we go to the start of the round with Wilhelm.
Well, things have changed, and I'm going to pull out my rapier.
The dwarves are screaming, by the way. Ah! Awesome, no! And one's like, I knew it. And in the chaos, one of the dwarves, they run into the cabin and they shut the door.
Yeah, that checks out.
Protect yourselves.
Another dwarf runs over this way. So yeah, Nall's gonna run down. Whereas Ert is like, we've gotta kill it, and he takes his blunderbuss gun and fires a shot that goes completely wide.
Good try, buddy.
Wilhelm pulling out his rapier after getting bitten by this leg, attempts to stab the leg in the leg.
You're bludgeoned by the leg, not bitten by it.
Oh, cool. Great. Got kicked. Now I'm kicking back. Getting a 16 to hit.
You think you hit, but it doesn't seem like you hit. Like, it's kind of hard to determine whether you actually wounded this thing or whether it bounced off like a bit of useless flesh. It was a miss, basically, but I'm describing it as what the part of it that you hit, it just kind of shed that flesh.
My blade kind of scrapes off the chunk of flesh, and in a panic, I pull out my crossbow and just shoot at it as well. Getting a 15.
The shot goes wide.
I'm being taken over by this leg, so I'm like, ah.
Okay, so the torso, which is telekinetically restrained in the air but sprouting wings, is going to fire its eye beams. And so it gets to shoot D3 eye beams. So it's going to shoot 2 beams. So it will target Wrath and Wilhelm with its beams. I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws.
Ah!
I'm going to use lucky.
I don't have lucky. I'm gonna get a 9.
Okay, you fail.
I thought so.
You take 45 necrotic damage.
It's halved because I'm resistant to necrotic damage, but that hurt.
Wilhelm?
When you use lucky, you have to use the new roll,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, cool. So I just turned a 12 into an 8
So you fail,
with my luck.
and you take 45 necrotic damage.
Lucky. Just such... It's a broken ability, right? That's what everybody says. Sorry, 45?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... Can I... No, I can't have that.
Nope.
I can't.
And then what's my con save on
Your con
22
save would be
damage, I guess?
11.
Yeah, I crush it. I get like a 22.
Okay, you're good. With that, it is your turn, Wrath.
I want to, using my telekinesis, does it take my action to use the is it on my turn or is it a...
It is on your turn to manipulate the telekinesis.
I'm just waiting for things to load again.
Yeah, I believe with telekinesis, basically, you can affect the same
use
target.
my action.
Yeah, you use your action to maintain it.
So I'm gonna use my action to take the torso and I want to slam it into the pyre.
Okay, you want to move it down into the fire? Okay, so let's make pose checks.
I get a 30.
Okay, I get an 11. So yeah, you're gonna slam it down into the
So I
pyre.
bring it down. I'm gonna move it down into the.
It
the,
screeches this horrible. As
and
you
I'm
burn
standing
it.
there like in the flames, and like there's just and I burn.
So it's gonna take 20 fire damage as it's held in the flames.
No one
telekinetically.
attacks my cat, and that's gonna be my action. And I'm going to step around here just to like watch the burning.
Okay.
Just give you guys a little space.
Rudy.
And I look over and say, the fire burns them. Let me do more effective fire this time. And I cast behind them a fireball that reaches using the necklace.
Okay, so I gotta make
Like
dexterity
this?
saving throws.
Get him right in there, yeah.
But they're tent. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you destroy the tent in the process.
Incinerate.
Yeah, how intense?
All of this is gone.
Yeah, they both fail their saving throws, by the way. Both the legapedes.
Okay.
There.
8, right? 8,
86, yep.
2, 3, 4. I need 3. Okay. 30 damage.
Nice. Nice. Fire. Fire.
Okay, the legapedes.
As my bonus action, I am going to second wind.
Okay. It looks like with the fire damage, this creature is not able to regenerate. But the legapedes continue to mutate and change, sprouting bone blades and grasping tentacles out of their body. And so with their bone blades sprouted, they will now crit on 19s or 20s and deal triple damage on a crit. And with their grasping tentacles, they will grab you if you are hit by their attacks.
So they're not blunt anymore. It's not blunt.
No, no. So Wilhelm, I get an 18 and a 17 to hit you.
I'm okay.
Both miss?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have really nice armor. Kingly
And
armor.
Rudy, I get a crit, 2 crits.
What?
What? What?
Yeah, the 19 turns into a crit.
Oh no, Rudy.
Do I have anything?
So that's 2 hits for 40 damage each.
Oh, I'm okay.
You ready to sit?
I mean, it's not great. I'm dead.
Jeez.
You still have
Wait,
it.
did you say double or triple on crits?
Oh yeah, it's triple damage
I'm
on the
so
crit.
sorry.
Oh no, I'm dead.
So yeah, the
No.
first would be 60, the second would be 60 as well.
Okay, so how much should I do?
One.
So
it was.
you would take 40 more.
40 more?
Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
I'm still not dead.
Oh my
You're
god.
still not dead?
Rudy's the ultimate tank.
Wow.
I might have to run away.
No, we're gonna save you.
Okay. Yeah, so basically it sprouts these 2 bone blades that just like just imagine it and they the bone blade basically just it's like that clean hit right through your body.
Yeah.
I almost
Yeah.
picture that like she gets like
Yeah.
lifted up by
Yeah.
the...
Yeah, it's awful.
It's horrifying.
It is horrifying.
Straight out of a horror movie.
Ert does shoot his blunderbuss at the one in the fire and does hit and does do some damage to it.
That's
Yay!
it. There you go, Bert.
Thanks, Ert. It's
Ert.
Ert.
I might call him Bert a couple more times. That's by accident. I'm so sorry.
And
Bert.
Wilhelm, we're over to you. Rudy is it's like a horror movie over here. Yeah.
I'm going to attempt again to stab the one in front of me, gaining composure. Right? That we're going to do that, I hope. You know what? We're going to roll this dice. Throw it at you.
It works.
There, good luck. Now you've given me luck.
I've touched it.
No, I'm gonna use
Yeah, and
lucky.
Rudy, you're also grappled.
I'm gonna use lucky.
You rolled a natural 1 on the dice I touched.
Stop using that one.
What'd you get?
A 16.
That does hit the legapede.
Okay, all right. I dig my blade into the legapede. Because it's next to Rudy, I'm going to sneak attack.
Kill it.
That's going to be 32 damage.
Okay, it is bloodied, whatever bloodied means in the context of this horrific creature. But the legapede is still alive.
And then I'm going to turn. Am I technically based with the torso right now as
Yes.
well? So I'm going to turn and I'm going to shoot at the torso.
Okay.
I have a method to my madness. That's only going to be a 15.
That misses.
I'm going to use a luck point
This is your last one.
to get
Yeah.
a 23.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm going to do 10 damage to it.
Okay.
And now, since I have attacked both creatures based with me, I can use my... Oh, what's it called? I can never...
Oh, your swashbuckler thing to get away from them.
Yes. During your turn, if you make a melee attack... Oh, wait, that was a ranged attack, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Within 5 feet, though. Okay, no.
Yeah. So it's still going to be able to make an opportunity attack against you, but it's still restrained in the fire, so it does disadvantage, which turns what would have been a 22 into a natural 1.
And I dive behind the fire of the tent
Okay.
and perch myself up against these bags of grain or whatever and hope for the best.
So the torso's ranged attack doesn't recharge, and it's in the fire, so I don't think it's adjacent to anybody. So can I try to break out of the telekinesis on my turn?
I'm gonna see. It just says that on subsequent rounds.
Yeah, I
have
think
used
it
my
has
action.
to wait. Yeah, so it's just stuck there. It and burns. I guess it's gonna take fire damage because it's in the fire. Burn. Oh wow. Okay. So it takes a bunch of fire damage as it burns in the fire. So with that, we go to Wrath.
I am. Oh no, I'm so torn.
Kind of like this guy from his legs, right?
Yeah, kind of. I'm going to. Rudy's in trouble, isn't she?
Oh, okay.
Rudy, are you
As I'm
okay?
bleeding.
You lift it into the air, you're like, yeah, I'm fine. It
Uh,
like has its claws in you.
Okay.
I'm going to the winged creature. I'm actually now going to release my grasp on it,
Okay.
and I'm going to turn my attention towards the two creatures based with Rudy, and I'm going to shoot Eldritch Blasts at them.
Okay.
Couldn't
So-
you hold it and shoot Eldritch Blast?
No, it's my action too. But I'm still concentrating on telekinesis.
Okay.
So I haven't dropped my concentration, but I'm releasing my grip on it to shoot Eldritch Blasts. So I get my lowest is a 17 to hit.
Everything hits.
So, and no crits, but I'm going to hit the...
One was damaged more by Wilhelm.
So I'm going to shoot one at the first one. I get a 12 damage
Okay.
at the hurt one, and I'm going to push it back 10 feet.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do another 9 damage to it
Okay.
and push it back another 10 feet. Is it still alive?
It is still alive.
Then I'm going to shoot it one more time for 13 damage.
You blast it apart.
So I just fire, but I'm releasing the grip on the.
And as it had taken fire damage from Rudy's fireball, the flames, and there's still the smoldering flames from destroying the tent. The remains of it are burned up in the fire.
And then I'm going to. Yeah, I'm just gonna. That's my turn.
All right, Rudy, we're over to you.
I totally forgot Houdini was here again. So Houdini, get over here and help me. And it's grappled me, right?
Yeah.
Does that give me disadvantage?
No.
Okay.
You're just grabbed, so your speed is 0.
So if Houdini helps me, advantage?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to take 3 attacks at it as it holds me with my axe. I'm like, you're just bringing yourself closer to death.
Okay.
So
Get it, Rudy.
22 to hit.
To hit.
I'm just gonna do all of them and then roll. 21 to hit
Also a hit.
and a crit.
It's definitely destroyed.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know how much damage you did. Yeah. What? So as it lifts you in the air, you just take your axe and, like, I imagine you hack the first limb off to free yourself. You hack the second limb off to free yourself, and then you just bring a third hack down, and it splits the thing asunder. As the licks of fire on it still flutter and spurt.
And I rub the blood off my face, and I action surge, and I walk over the one in the fire. And I also, is it help only on one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start 3 hacks at the torso.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a natural 1, so that's a no-no. That's a 2.
Oh,
That's a cock die.
that is.
I'm gonna just not. Oh, 16.
That is a miss on the torso.
Okay.
Oh, what a whiff!
And then
that
I
was.
am going to use my bonus action to Misty Step 30 feet away from this thing.
Okay.
So I don't.
Oh, Rudy,
anymore.
I'm so sorry.
I just take a knee for a second. Y'all do the rest. I'm
Okay.
63 years old. I can't be doing that.
The legopedes are destroyed.
Start dropping
so
ages on me? Okay.
I just had the torso, which is on a different initiative count, so we're actually back to Wilhelm.
As I see Rudy disappear, I leap onto the pile of rocks and drive my blade into the creature with ferocity, getting a 23.
That's a hit.
And is Wrath based with it?
No, but you're not. But so that means swashbuckler action.
Swashbuckler.
There it is. Kill it in the fire.
All right. Well, that was a bad. That 23.
That destroys it.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So I basically just skewer it And like roasting marshmallows over a fire, I just stand there and kind of hold it and
As
like
it-
Rotisserie.
I push it into the coals of the fire and like just
Nice.
force it down into it as fire licks. Wrath's on the other side, admiring the beauty of it, and together we roast this
Yeah,
creature.
I push it back down with the I help you push it down into
Yeah,
the
we're
fire
just
more
yeah, and it.
into the pyre.
Urch is like, by the ancestors, that was the worst one yet. Where are the others?
I point my crossbow at him.
Ah!
Now you all trusted that man, and he just turned into a horrible monster and almost killed me and my friends.
It could have been any of us.
It could be any of us.
Where's everyone else?
I think they went into the cabin.
Well, one went into the cabin, one ran away.
Where did they go?
One went down into the quarry. One, and I'm actually like I'm gonna move towards the cabin, keeping my crossbow trained on it, and I'm gonna kick the door open and look inside.
You kick the cabin door open. In the cabin, beneath the chair that the doctor was sitting on, there's an open trap door.
And both of them are gone.
Yeah. The chair there, the doctor's been untied, and the trapdoor is open. And
She never told us what the procedure was, did she?
no,
I know we were only in there for a moment, but looking around the cabin, are any of the things we were headed for, or we were gonna grab, is anything missing?
oh yeah, a bunch of stuff is missing from the shelves.
So they. But this doesn't mean anything. This could mean that they are well, and that they look to find a cure, or whatever creature holds them.
You've got your crossbow, but Ert has his blunderbuss trained back at you.
We're just gonna stand like this all night, Ert. I'll lower my weapon if you lower your weapon. But if you make any sudden moves,
The doctor, Null, Brimley, they've run off.
one went down that way, another
Null.
two. Null went down that way, the other two went through a trapdoor in the cabin. We need to find them, and we need to have everybody accounted for.
What happens if they escape?
If one of them's infected, this could get back to Helig, this could get back to Stone Rest. There's communities around these parts. If any of these people make it to a community,
This is why you should let me cut off heads when I want to.
we still don't know if the
I-
doctor's infected.
Brimley could have just wanted to help the doctor. They could have just gone down to the cellars under the cabin.
Is that all that's down there?
We've made that into a that was a burrows that we were using for shelter and storage for food and other supplies we didn't want to expose to the elements. We've done a lot of digging down there. It's a bit of a maze.
And what about the other one who ran out into the quarry?
I don't know. Null just might have been startled. She's not much of a fighter. Great mechanic, but not much of a fighter. She might have just wanted to be safe.
We have a conundrum in front of us. We need to go after both of them. But if any of us don't have eyes on each other, we don't know what could happen. But we need to get everybody accounted for. Do we go after one and then the other, or do we go after both?
Well, if they're all running away, it's going to be hard not to keep up with them. Who knows, especially the doctor, how far they're going to get. But the other one, I mean, we don't know who's infected. We got to figure this out.
I can go after the one in the ruins if you head into the
I can track the...
through the maze. The Rudy though, are you okay?
I'm not okay. But I have an idea. Real quick.
But wait, you were...
Oh, wait, I was struck by these things.
You got stabbed like a bunch of times.
Oh,
Rudy,
that's what you mean by not okay. I thought you just
Yeah,
meant
Rudy,
these
what's
gaping wounds.
your bonus of Constitution saving throws?
+8.
Interesting.
Rudy.
Rudy, how do you feel?
Right now, hurt.
Yeah.
Both emotionally and physically.
Were any of you physically damaged by any of these?
You said I took bludgeoning damage. Once it turned into not bludgeoning, I didn't receive any additional damage.
What's your bonus to Constitution saving throws?
+7.
Interesting.
I got hit with that necrotic beam.
Oh yeah, you did. What's your bonus to Constitution saving throws?
+3.
Interesting.
Okay, he said the same thing for all of us, so I think we're fine.
Or none of us are fine.
Well, listen, at least I can bolster us up for the next part of this. I want to cast with my lunar crescent axe. I don't use this very often. My aura of vitality.
Okay.
Does
On us.
that can put us all up to full, yeah?
I put away my wand of cure wounds. Another day.
Rudy.
Hold on, I gotta make notes.
Oh no.
Okay.
What's he writing over there? What's he writing? It's fine. It's fine.
I always forget that I have that.
You can't show each other these notes.
That's
Okay. You need to read the note and follow the instructions on the note.
Who's this for?
It's for you.
Oh, okay.
It's for you.
Mark, yes or no?
It's for you. Don't tell each other about what you see on your note.
Okay.
Why did you take so long to read that?
because
No, you were hit with a beam.
I cannot read.
Okay. Wrath was hit with a beam. I don't think that counts. I was kicked. I don't think that counts. Rudy,
Yeah.
you were stabbed multiple
times,
times.
like,
Listen,
yeah.
I've been stabbed a lot of things over my lifetime, and I'm like surviving. I don't know.
Okay, so Wrath, you're going after.
Ert says it's the first time I've seen anyone survive any of it, actually getting wounded by it. So far, no one's actually survived anything like that. We should kill your friend.
I
It's
know.
me.
I mean,
No.
no.
I'll be
You
honest,
can't.
that they can try, but probably it's gonna be a tough battle. No one's been able to kill me yet.
She was wounded by it. You saw that. You saw it too. Before she turns into one of those, it might already be too late.
Ert, and I pull Ert close and away from Rudy. I'll have my eyes on her,
You only have one eye.
and I will keep it on her.
Means he's gonna trip a lot.
Ert, I need you to go with Wrath. Rudy and I are going to go through that trap door.
He got hit by that weird beam.
You said it was blood or fluids. Beams aren't blood or fluids.
I've never seen it do that before.
Listen, do you want to be tied up to a chair while we go off?
No.
Then you
Then
go.
you
with
are
Wrath.
going with Wrath. Wrath, if he acts weird, if he starts to just blow him up, okay?
What?
Oh, he has great hearing.
So you're not gonna trust me?
Ert, if Wrath starts acting weird or changes in anything, shoot him.
I will.
There you go.
But that's normal. He's normally weird to regular people.
You don't know Wrath,
She's gonna turn on you the moment my back is turned.
and I will kill her if she does.
Try.
Damn it.
Rudy, no one's gonna kill you.
I know they can try. What
Wrath, I don't know if I can take Rudy if she changes.
This is a good point. Maybe I'll go with Rudy, and you go track the one in the.
You can't take me either. Actually, you have magic. I don't know.
Rudy, you're not going to change.
But what if Wrath changes?
I can take Wrath. Maybe.
And I can take this lowly dwarf.
What? Wait, maybe we don't have to separate at all. Maybe that's also an option.
What if he's infected? You're the king of...
We cannot. Yes, actually, yeah, totally. We can't let you go alone.
We are in this now.
We're in this now, but we still gotta think.
You're
about
the
what?
what?
Is next. Nothing.
Oh. She must be slightly infected, but only to cause her to say weird
If she's
things.
infected, we should just kill her now.
Right, I'm okay.
She's fine. She's
Oh,
fine.
I'm
She
okay.
said, I'm her kin.
Right.
I'm...
Make a deception check.
Uh-oh. I've used all
Use
my
luck.
luck points.
Wilhelm, listen.
Oh, I get a 16.
You're such a liar. You're definitely a mutant.
A mutant?
You're gonna turn into a monster, and maybe your lying tongue is gonna like shoot out into my eye and like burrow into my brain or something. How do I can't trust any of you.
And we can't trust you.
Let's just tie him up.
We should all go together. I do not believe that if one of us changes, at least the others will be there to stop them from spreading this infection.
Then I suppose if we're going to stick together, the four of us...
We should go after the ones in the cellar first. It's the most amount of people that we can gather at once, and then we go after the straggler. If he has made his way through the snowstorm, even if he survives, we will be able to find the body and burn it if needed.
There is also the case that if this creature's desire is to spread, then the one who went and grabbed the doctor was potentially looking for another victim. Whereas the one who ran off by herself is more likely just afraid. That doesn't mean we shouldn't go after the two, but I'm more likely to suspect that we might have another battle. We might have to kill another dwarf.
This is a dangerous situation.
Rudy, I still don't know if you're a monster. I mean, I know you're a monster, but...
Listen, if you ask me, I'm irredeemable, but I don't know if I've been infected. I'm gonna assume I don't feel any different, but who knows what could happen. That thing hit me pretty hard. I don't know.
Wait a second. Wrath. We were about to go off in separate directions, and you wanted us all together. Why?
Because you're my friends.
Or was it that you wanted to infect all of us?
Wait. No. You're the one that wanted to separate us. Maybe you're the one that wants to keep us separate so that you would be able to infect us individually, thus by creating an army of the infected.
Now, I know that I was just trying to capture everybody and get them back. I thought dividing and conquering would be the best approach.
By splitting us up, you weaken us. And you almost died
Boys,
from, like,
boys,
robots.
this is what happens. This is why those dwarves are fighting. Let's get in our right heads.
I don't know who to trust.
How about this? Regardless of infection, trust us. Trust us.
How? You were just stabbed multiple times by an infected creature who turned that dwarf into
Wilhelm.
what we just fought.
Wilhelm, know that if something is happening to me, I give you my full permission to cut my head off with my own axe.
I can't lift that axe.
With your own weapons, then. Before I turn into a monster. All right? I will not endanger this if something is wrong with me. But until then, we are in our right minds and we need to figure this out.
Fine, we stick together. Everybody keep your eyes on each other at all times.
If you're feeling weird, you let the group know and...
Rudy, I don't think this is a case of feeling weird and letting the group know. I think if you're infected, you're already gone and you'll continue to tell the others that you're fine.
But then we find the doctor and see if they have a solution for figuring this out.
Very well.
The doctor had, at least, even if they were lying, maybe they, actually, maybe we just have to trust that they were telling the truth, and they might be the only ones that could be able to
Why would they
figure
take
out
stuff with them?
exactly if it was truly the monster, or this creature. I shouldn't say Maybe there's just another reason. Another reason why. At least they could give us a chance to figure out who could be infected.
Let's just bring Bruce back. If any of us try to kill Bruce, then we know. That seemed to be a trigger for this other dwarf.
Ert, will you lead the way into the trap door in the cellars below?
All right, let's go.
I want to ask Bruce. Now that I've saved him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to.
Bruce replies,
I am.
You did not save me.
Oh.
That creature could have done nothing to me, not here.
No, you're right. I don't mean to think I saved you. I guess. What is this thing? You brought me here. Am I on the right path?
You have come to a very special place, Bruce says. This is a place that has been important to me for some time. And also, and because it is important to me, it has been important to my enemies. I have no doubt that you will prevail.
I will kill this thing.
If you are still useful to me.
I am still useful. Show me the way to the doctor.
Bruce rolls around on his back, purrs softly, and remains perched on the arch.
I'll take a ring check, and I'll come back. You wait here, and I'm gonna go into the cabin.
Okay. You enter into the cabin, and there is a cellar door that was originally, when you came into this room, there was a mat down that the cellar door was concealed underneath that has been lifted up, and the chair is knocked aside, and the ropes that were binding the doctor have been cut. Several items and objects have been taken. Because you didn't have a very good sense of what was here to begin with, it's impossible to tell what was grabbed and what was gone, and what possibly they could have picked up. There is a very steep step ladder that descends. Fortunately, the steps are pretty close together, dwarves, right? That descends down into the cellar, which notably, the dig out here is dug for people of dwarf height.
Well,
I turn to the dwarf and I say, "Is this the only way out?"
No. There's an extra exit on the other side.
I don't think they're going to be coming back this way.
as I pop to the bottom of the ladder, I look to the ground and I'm trying to find any trail that I could follow, any signs of like either footprints, or is the ground soft enough to leave?
It is dirt, right? So basically what they've dug down into is they've dug down into rock and dirt that with the way that they've insulated it, like because it's now separated from the elements and they've heated it up a little bit, it's almost a little bit muddy down here. And so there is earth and rock that forms the rough-hewn sort of burrows that the dwarves have dug out here. It could be enough that you could actually follow some sort of trail underneath here. Yes.
All right, I'm going to try to pick up the freshest footprints or boot prints.
Cool. Give me an investigation check.
I want to cast guidance on you.
That gives me a D4.
Yes. And it's almost like I always imagine that you're like kneeling down to look, and I just put my hand on my shoulder. What do you see?
I got a 22.
Okay. There is a pathway. So the first part of this burrow is a large storage room that the dwarves are clearly using as a cellar. So the room here, as the stairs come down, this is, as I said, a rough-hewn dirt room where the dwarves have stacked several barrels of supplies and provisions. So there are several barrels of dwarven rum, dwarven ale, dwarven beer, and dwarven wine, as well as satchels containing some salted pork, as well as preserved mushrooms, and several other grains and other basically non-perishable provisions that the dwarves have been keeping here to eat, right? In addition, there are several other tools and other basic sorts of supplies that are in this immediate sort of room, as well as extra bits of cloth and supplies that they can use for tents and bedding and whatnot. The chamber here immediately splits into two directions. One passageway heads to the north, which is a rough-hewn passage that curls off, and the other heads to the south, where there is a door. The door is still closed, however. Checking around with your investigation check, it looks like someone very quickly filled a flask because one of the barrels of dwarven mead is leaking. So someone obviously filled it up with something to drink, grabbed a few things because there's a couple satchels scattered about, and got some food, and then now it is heading to the north.
From what we know about this creature, I don't know if it enjoys mead or salted pork the way it enjoys eating other creatures. So I'm going to assume that at least one of the people who came down here was not infected by taking the time to take provisions and...
Unless they didn't know if they were infected and they were just thinking that they should take it because they would need it, even though they didn't.
I'm still under the impression that if you're infected, this creature wants to hide in plain sight. It wants to remain normal. So actually, in that case, it could have grabbed it as an attempt to look normal. But anyway, I think no matter what, we remain suspicious. But we're heading to the north, it looks like.
All right, let's get going.
Let's go quickly too. We need to catch up. They have a head start.
As we move swiftly, I'm going to ask Ert, what's down here? Where are we headed?
Through that door is where we made the dormitories and some of the meeting rooms and other chambers. It's pretty bad over there. Then we've got a couple more. We've got a few more sort of storage rooms heading up this other way.
Is that towards where the other exit is as well?
Yeah.
All right, let's quicken our pace.
Okay. As you follow the pace, you notice something, Wilhelm. The tracks double back. They go both to the north, but then turn around again and come back towards the other doorway.
I think they changed their mind. The tracks, both sets of tracks turn around.
Yeah.
No, we're going the wrong way. This was meant to misguide us. Or they changed their mind as they were headed in this direction. They've gone to the...
Why would they change their mind?
Well, if the other...
It's hard to tell though, because there's two sets of tracks. It could be that now that you're looking, it could be that they went this way, forgot something, went back the other way, and then went back this way again. Because there's several sets of tracks, and you can see that even within this, there's strange bits of hesitation within the steps.
It's hard to read. There's a lot of footprints about. It looks like they doubled back, but then there are tracks that continue on this way. Is there any way to indicate if, like, is it kind of just a mess of tracks down here?
It is, but this is the clearest sense of direction that you have.
So they double back, but then it does look like some fresh tracks do keep going as well.
These are the recent tracks. Yes.
At this point, it may be wise for us to part ways. I do not know if this is the right path, but if we do not catch those, especially the doctor, and we can, whoever, once you get them, return back to the cabin.
Now, any of us going off alone could be a danger.
I do not think you should be alone with the dwarf.
Who should I be with, Raph?
You should be with either myself or Rudy.
Which would you prefer?
I think it is your decision.
Who are you going to be with?
I will go with your decision.
I'm not going with her.
I wouldn't go with me either.
But Raph could be trying to get me alone. Or trying to get Ert alone. You could be infected.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up at this stage.
Then we have to pick a way. Any time we waste debating is time that they have ahead of us. We must decide now. Wilhelm, it is your decision. Do we continue on our path, or do we double back and go the opposite way? Which way do you think they are?
Raph, you might be right. Your first option. I don't like it, but we need to find them.
You do.
We have to get them back here. If we move quickly, maybe we can go both ways, but if we move in the wrong direction too long, I do not know.
Rudy, you go with Ert.
He doesn't want to go with me.
Too bad, Ert.
No, I'm not doing it.
Ert, which one of us do you trust the most?
I don't trust any of you, but
All
I
right,
trust her the least.
All right, Ert, I'm going with you. We're going to continue this
No,
way.
I'm not letting you go alone.
Fine.
Go with me. Look, we.
In the midst of all this indecision, you can all roll me a d6.
Oh no.
I got a 6.
4.
Rudy and I will carry on down this path. Ert, Raph, you're going to go and check out the barracks.
You hear a voice call out from above. Hello? Are you alive down there?
Whose voice is that? Ert,
It's Knowles,
the one who went down into
who
the
ran
corner.
off.
Yes, we're alive down here.
Where's the doctor?
We're looking for them. Come down here.
Knowles climbs down the step ladders.
Are you alone?
I went to hide. When I saw those creatures, I didn't want to run off, but it was dangerous. They were trying to kill us all. Oh, Mossam. I didn't get hurt.
All right, Niles, you're coming with Rudy and I.
Oh, all right.
Wait. We're just gonna trust Knowles now?
No. We're going to keep our eyes on Niles. We're not going to let her out of our sight again.
All right.
We're all going to keep an eye on each other.
So Wrath is gonna go
With Ert.
with Ert. In
This
which
is a great
direction?
idea.
I will take Urt. Urt, take me to the barracks. And quickly. We must find the doctor.
All right. You two.
And Nulls.
If an hour has passed, return to the cabin.
We come back in an hour. Everybody,
It's
set
either-
your watches.
Okay.
I'm on mountain time.
Mine's like a sundial.
As
Oh,
you
damn.
split up and go in your separate directions, that is where we're gonna end tonight.
It's a genius idea.
I love it. It can only go well.
I'm hiding this note.
Can it only go up?
So
Yeah.
give me the notes back.
Oh, okay.
How will you know whose note is whose?
I know what I said to everybody.
Can we trust you?
Least of all.
Is this the end of our heroes? Tune in next week for another exciting tale.
Honestly, I love splitting the party. It's my favorite.
I know, we get so much
I
done.
love ending.
We just get so much more done when we split the party.
Okay.
Like it's always a good idea.
love it.
Always
It's
split the
exciting.
party.
Always split the party.
Never.
In this suspenseful moment, that's where we're going to wrap things up. A big thank you to Jill, Kelly, and Joe for playing along with this fun thing tonight.
And thank you very much to Kyle for all of the work that he does behind the scenes and trying not to laugh at our shenanigans. And a huge thank you to our Dungeon Master, Monty Martin, for running this this thing that you've put into play here.
Gosh.
Excellent job. Feels a lot like some of my favorite 80s horror movie tropes coming to life.
In our game tonight, we had the opportunity to not trust each other and use a variety of incredible assets produced by talented artists. They've graciously given us permission to use them in our tabletop games, and we encourage you to go out and support some of these amazing creators. We have some amazing, this is all Dwarven Forge.
Yeah, this is all from their
Some
Wildlands,
amazing
yeah.
scene from Dwarven Forge, miniatures by WizKids and Hero Forge. We have the player character artwork by Elizabeth Perot and music by Tabletop Audio.
Our videos and live streams are made possible because we have an amazing community of Patreon supporters backing up our work. If you enjoy the work that we do here on YouTube, Twitch, and elsewhere, please consider becoming a patron of our channel by following the links in the description below.
Don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes shirts, including Shadows of Drakkenheim, including the Dusk Wardens, and yes, take a look at bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
We also have a phenomenal Discord community exclusive for our patrons. You can join us on Discord and chat with us about all things TTRPG, the latest episodes of Drakkenheim, and anything else you want. So yeah, check us out. If you join our Patreon, hop onto our Discord.
And of course, we got new videos dropping on YouTube all the time. Check it out, youtube.com/DungeonDudes.
Be sure to find out how this story continues next Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. Of course, you can always get caught up to the show on YouTube or check us out as an audio-only podcast as well.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time in the world of Drakkenheim.